What do you call
No, it's a
that
reprieve.
before? A reprieve.
No, it's a reprieve.
It's a reprieve, but it requires us blabbing our mouths off as much as we can, and hopefully that there's a generation behind us that wants to continue this and keep this alive, or any filmmakers that want to film in it, and at the very least making a certain amount of prints just to keep them from.
If you're showing a new print of Breathless, or hell, even an old print of Breathless in a cinema, well, that's worth leaving the house and going out and going into a theater to watch it. But to watch a digital version of it, well, my criterion is just fine. I don't need to go and watch television in public. So I don't see any reason why to leave the house when home theaters are so good and the presentation on these digitals, on the DVDs are so good. Why would you go and see that at the theaters? All right, 35 millimeter, which most people don't have in their house. Well, that's a reason.
You mean bad stories?
No, I guess look, I guess where I'm coming from is this, to some degree or another, is I don't know if we're giving people enough reason to leave their house and go to the movies.
Fist breaking your teeth, that's the accident.
Come on, Flash.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again. Freeze it.
You ever watch an interview with Christopher Nolan lately?
Hello, I'm Christopher Nolan, and welcome to the final screening at the IMAX Theatre Sydney before its grand reopening. The film you're about to see, The Dark Knight, was the first commercial feature to incorporate significant sections of original IMAX film photography.
Or Paul Thomas Anderson.
Blabbing our mouths off as much as we can, and hopefully that there's a generation behind us that wants to continue this and keep this alive, or any filmmakers that want to film in it.
These men talk about film stock the way medieval monks talked about relics. Like if you hand them a hard drive, they'll recoil like you offered them a cursed USB from hell.
If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
And for years, I sort of rolled my eyes at it. Yeah, celluloid, emulsion, grain, projected light, your holy textured rectangle. We get it. Then, I found this YouTube channel posting 35mm scans.
35mm, which most people don't have in their house, well, that's a reason.
Random scenes, teasers, little scraps of movies like Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, The Matrix. And I did something I basically never do. I commented. Time, electricity, and probably my CPU. Just editing these scans in 4K made my computer cry. I was dropping frames from something as simple as Peter Parker lifting up his camera.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
So, while I waited for this bloke to reply, I started pulling clips and doing what every healthy person should avoid at all costs, turning a passing curiosity into a full digital excavation. And the deeper I went, the more I started to get it.
Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one. We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers.
Not in the snobby way, not in the I now wear a scarf indoors and say photochemical way.
Someone.
I won't lie to you, Neil. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought an agent has died. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
I mean, I actually started to see what these directors keep talking about.
He'd entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
Because a good 35mm scan doesn't look old.
What are you trying to tell me?
It doesn't look grainy.
That I can dodge bullets?
It has texture.
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
This weird living quality in the image that makes normal home video start feeling like a bit too clean. A bit too behaved.
Hands in your head! Do it! Do it now!
I'm looking at Trinity in the opening of The Matrix. Hands up, police lights hitting the frame. And suddenly, I'm not looking at content anymore. I'm looking at light trapped in film emulsion and dragged through time. Which is exactly why Nolan keeps talking like film is the closest thing to how eyes see light. And why he still pushes big format film exhibition like a man trying to stop civilization from replacing churches with vape shops.
I'm in the dark here! Do you understand?
What I'm reacting to isn't always simple, more resolution. That's the trap. A 35mm negative can hold enough detail for a 4K transfer. Absolutely, but different film elements give you different results. 4K gets close to the resolution of a modern 35mm answer print, while the original negative can hold more. And release prints hold less. In other words, what you're seeing depends on what was scanned. So when a 35mm scan on YouTube blows your eyebrows off, part of the magic can be the print itself.
Trinity! Help!
The colour timing baked into that element. The grain structure, the open matte framing, the fact you're seeing something closer to theatrical print texture than a polished home video master.
Out of your mind!
Wrong answer!
Oh, great.
That's why it feels like leveling up. You're not just comparing old source versus Blu-ray. You're suddenly seeing the invisible line between a disc master and a film element. Same movie, different animal. Tarantino wasn't being weird after all. And this is where Tarantino's madness starts making sense to me. Because when he said digital projection was the death of cinema as we know it, and called it television in public, that sounded, to normal people, like a man who had inhaled too much repertory theatre. But after falling into this scan rabbit hole, I finally understood what he was fighting for.
Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen. I offered you friendship, and you spat in my face.
Not nostalgia, not just stubbornness, texture, presentation, the feeling that the image has body.
Hello, I'm Christopher Nolan.
And I was lucky enough to spend the day with Mr. Nolan as he showed me some behind the scenes of his new movie Oppenheimer and discussed the importance of film and also watching things in IMAX. He began by showing me the different formats in which movies are shot in film and also projected.
That's conventional 35mm. We shoot on 70mm. The other format we use is 70mm IMAX. It's the highest quality.
These men are annoying about film stock because they've seen the good stuff, and now, tragically, so have I. And that's when the obsession changed from, wow, this looks cool, to, I need to locate the sacred relic myself. So I started digging, and in that digging I found something important. These prints, clips, and open matte fragments don't live in one place. They circulate. They leak out in pieces. A trailer here, a scene there, a print fragment somewhere else. Which is why I'm not going to pretend I know who scanned what first without hard proof. Let's just say I had one of those internet moments where you realise the thing you thought you discovered may actually be part of a much weirder, much messier ecosystem of collectors, reposts, print fragments, and digital grave robbery, which honestly makes the whole thing more fascinating.
Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
And this is where the rabbit hole got properly dangerous, because these weren't just pretty 35mm scans. Some of them were open matte, meaning you're suddenly seeing more of the image at the top and the bottom than you normally would in the finished widescreen frame. Not a different movie, just more of the photographed frame than the theatrical version was designed to show.
Thanks. No problem.
And once you notice that, your brain is cooked, because in the Spider-Man print, you're not just admiring grain and colour anymore. You're seeing little bits of illusion poke through. In the infamous cafeteria scene, the extra frame area gives away more of how the shot was built.
Wow. Reflexes.
You can start spotting the mechanics, the tray gag, the hidden edges of the trick, the stuff the finished framing politely keeps out of sight. That's what makes these prints feel so weirdly magical. They're not just alternate copies of the movie. They're like accidental X-rays. You're seeing the film and the filmmaking at the same time.
You've spun your last web, Spider-Man.
So, no. This isn't me becoming the kind of man who calls every Blu-ray inferior peasant media. Blu-ray can look incredible. A lot of them are literally built from high quality scans in the first place. A 35mm negative can absolutely support 4K detail, but these rawer 35mm scans show me something I hadn't properly felt before. Not just the image quality, but image character. The scratches, the grain, the colour, the breathing texture, the sense you're not watching a film pretending to be a movie. You're watching a movie that survived becoming a file. That's what Nolan's on about. That's what Tarantino's on about. That's what PTA's on about. And now thanks to a random YouTube rabbit hole and the slow murder of my computer rendering in 4K, I'm on about it too.